Hey y'all, welcome back. So today I have a lot of ingredients here. I'm going to be showing y'all how I make my red beans and rice. So first and foremost, I have the red kidney beans here that I soaked overnight. You want to make sure you soak them because it's going to cut down your cook time tremendously. So I soaked them all last night. That's why you see them all puffy. I soaked them overnight, cleaned them, and just put them in here and sit them in the fridge overnight. Here is some smoked turkey necks. These are not expensive at all. These are still frozen, but it's fine because you have to cook these down anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So and it also depends on how much beans you're making. So I just have two here. This is the turkey kielbasa sausage that I'm going to use. A lot of people use the pork or the beef, but this is the only one that I've seen at the store, and we don't eat pork, so I just got turkey. You're gonna need a whole onion, green bell pepper, some scallion or green onion, whatever you call them. This is two chicken bouillon cubes I have here, some salt to taste, bay leaves, Creole seasoning, Cajun seasoning, ground black pepper, and this is garlic paste. You can use chopped garlic, you can use fresh garlic. I don't like chopping garlic, so I always get it already chopped. And then some parsley flakes. So these are all the things that you're gonna need to make your red beans and rice. You want to start off by melting a stick of butter. I like to use butter for my beans because it gives it a lot more flavor than oil. So you want to melt your stick of butter in here, and we're going to get our vegetables frying up. Okay, so my butter is just about melted, and what I'm going to do is add in my veggies. I have the green bell pepper, the scallion, and the onion. I'm going to add that all in there, and I'm also going to add in the garlic to this. If you don't have minced garlic already, you can use fresh garlic, 3 cloves of fresh garlic. Let that go for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then now is when you're going to add in your sausage. I have my sausage here that I cut up very thin, so I'm going to add the sausage because I like to give that a chance to brown up a little bit. And you add as much or as little sausage as you want. I'm not making too much beans, so I didn't add too many sausage. So once this has been cooking for a few minutes, just to get your sausage just a little cooked, I forgot to add this next ingredient, but you're going to need some chicken broth. If you don't have chicken broth, you can just use water, but chicken broth would give it a lot more flavor. So I'm going to add in about 1.5 cups of that. And let that. To this, I'm also going to add in the smoked turkey necks. You use ham hocks if you eat pork. You can use whatever, just about anything except chicken. I don't know if chicken will work. So I'm using the smoked turkey necks, and I'm also going to add in my beans. Like I said, you want to soak your beans, or else it's going to take a very long time for these beans to cook. Once you soak them, it cuts down the cooking time. I mean, they still cook for a while. This is not a easy, simple, quick meal. But soaking your beans does help cut down the time tremendously. So I have 2 tablespoons of that Creole seasoning, 1.5 tablespoons of Cajun seasoning, 1 tablespoon of black pepper, 1 tablespoon of parsley, and 2 bay leaves. I'm going to add that in. So I'm going to add in all these seasonings. And I'm also going to add in my bouillon cubes. Now the Cajun seasoning and the Creole seasoning has salt in it already, so you do not want to add salt right now. You want to wait till the beans are a little cooked, you taste it a little bit, and you add more seasoning as if you want. But for now, I will leave the salt out because you don't want your beans to be too salty. So I'm going to mix this up, and I'm going to add in some water. If you want to use all chicken broth, you can use all chicken broth. If you want to use all water, you can use all water. Or if you want to mix it like I'm doing, you can do that too. So you want to add water just until everything is just about covered. You want to add enough liquid to give your beans enough time to cook down. Now you're going to cook this and let it simmer for about 2.5 hours, depending on how you like your beans. Some people still like their beans with a little bite to them, or some people like Popeyes. Theirs is a little mushy, kind of like gravy. That's kind of how I like mine. So I have to cook mine down for quite some time for it to get like that. So you're gonna need all of this liquid and maybe even more. So you have to just kind of eyeball it. And if you see the liquid going out and your beans are not to the consistency that you want, you can always just keep adding a little bit of water, a little at a time. So you're gonna let this come back up to a boil, and you're gonna simmer this and leave it. And you also want to stir about every 20 to 25 minutes so your beans do not stick to the bottom of the pot. Okay guys, so it's been about an hour already. I've been coming back to stir about every 20 to 25 minutes. As you can see, a lot of the liquid is starting to cook out of the beans. They're getting a lot softer. All the veggies are cooking down. We still have a little ways to go, but I just wanted to show you guys what it's looking like right now at the hour mark. So I'm going to let this keep going. I'm going to cover it back up, and I'm going to show you guys what it looks like in just a little while. Okay guys, so now we are at our 2 hour mark, and this is how they look. Most of the liquid is out. The beans are nice and soft. What I do is I like to smush a few up against the side of the pot, and it helps it make it nice and thick. I'm just going to give this one more good stir, and I'm going to cover this, and I'm going to leave it for about another 30 minutes just so that a little bit more of the liquid can cook down, and then it should be done, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. Okay guys, so it's been just about 2.5 hours, and this is how the beans should look when they're done. Nice and thick and creamy. So I'm going to plate it up with some rice and some cornbread and show you guys how it looks.